Hello there. Today I want to be talking about an individual called Jumanne. I think it's just Jumanne.
It's Jumanne.
I first discovered this individual by scrolling through TikTok and coming across a post called Jumanne Core. Now the post was essentially just a compilation of clips from his YouTube channel and TikTok account where it's just like vlogs and videos of him gambling his money away and just him living his day-to-day life.
I'm about to overdraft my bank account to go to the casino. We had $2.89 in my account, and now I just overdrafted, and it's negative $97.11. She was like, I know you're a vlogger. I checked your Facebook. What? Believe it or not, this is my ex-girlfriend. I need to get her back. Like, I don't care by any means. I need to get her back. When a casino just takes my money just quick, it's just an annoying thing, bro. It's like, I never had a chance, bro. I need you more than you need me. I really gotta stop reading comments. Some of the things y'all be saying just be crazy to me. Don't have any expectations from me, for me. And if you do, expect me to disappoint you. I gotta walk because I missed the bus. I'm gonna go to Dunkin' Donuts and I'm gonna go to Subway and get some cookies until I'm successful. And when I'm successful, well, I'm not just crazy, but I'm a crazy genius.
So right off the bat, I kind of found this guy pretty interesting. I thought just the videos itself were somewhat funny and somewhat entertaining. So I wanted to do a little bit more deep dive into him. And it turns out this is not the first time that I've seen Jumanne on the internet before. As a matter of fact, it turns out that Jumanne has a pretty controversial history on YouTube and the internet overall. About 2 years ago, and I believe this started in the pandemic, there was kind of a whole new wave of influencers or people trying to become influencers by doing very controversial things, such as mocking dead people while they're in their graves, or in Jumanne's case, pretty much just crashing out at his previous jobs. An infamous case was pretty much known as the Subway crash out, where he would pretty much just throw ingredients all over the place on the floor.
At McMill. Tell McMill to sign me the dream chasers. Real shit. At McMill. Let him know, nigga. I'm trying to get signed to Dream Chasers. Fuck all this Subway shit. Fuck all of this Subway shit, bro. At McMill, man. Let him know. I'm trying to sign the Dream Chasers, bro. Deadass. I'm done working in Subway. Deadass. At McMill. Let him know. Dream Chasers. I'm not with none of this clout chasing shit, bro. All of this clout chasing shit is temporary, bro. Deadass. I don't want to do this. I really don't want to be doing none of this.
And then there would be a photo of him where he would pretty much spread the ingredients out on the toilet seat and there would be piss in the toilet and it's just him in the room. Another infamous crash out of his would be just him in a grocery store and he just simply pretty much says RIP Pop Smoke and just goes down an aisle and spilling a bunch of shit onto the ground.
Hey, rest in peace, Pop Smoke.
He would end up doing the same thing in a Spider-Man costume and even record himself stealing some shit from another store in which a lady would end up chasing him down trying to apprehend him.
I'm gonna take this. How much is that? $19.99 again? Sheesh. That's way too much. That's way too much. Yeah, I'm gonna just take some Sour Patches. I'm gonna take some Trolleys.
Sure.
I'm gonna take some Lifesavers.
Can you get those out of your pants?
Why would I take them out of my pants?
Because that's what you're
No, I'm good with that. Get vitamin water. I need a memory card too. I ain't gonna take a memory card. We don't need a memory card though.
You come on.
I'm good. And the alarm didn't even go off either. I thought the alarm was going. She followed me too. Why you following me? You don't keep following me?
Yep.
Alright, that's cool.
In fact, there's actually videos made about Jumanne doing these kind of things, and I'll pretty much put them right here and go watch them if you want to know more about these situations. As a result, Jumanne did speak that he got arrested, I believe, for one of these things. And as I stated before, this was pretty much during an era where people were trying to become influencers, just doing very controversial things or just being annoying to other people. I feel like Jumanne chose a wrong era to do this or to try to become famous because with the platform Kick, it's a much easier to become an influencer by just being a menace to society. But despite the controversial actions of Jumanne, he's still uploading content to this day. Now, you're probably wondering what kind of content is he uploading? Well, as I said in the near beginning of this video, he uploads just daily vlogs and pretty much just videos where he just kind of thinks out loud. In a lot of these videos, he's pretty much always gambling or he's recording himself at work. And we'll talk about that right now, about the content he uploads now and how he feels about his past. But I kind of want to bring up a topic of conversation that researching Jumanne made me realize. I think since about the golden age of YouTube, there's always been about a handful of people doing very controversial things or pretty much doing a lot of menace to society type shit in order to become relevant or stay relevant. We kind of saw this with, the old school YouTube pranksters. And after that, we started seeing this with people like Rice Scum, Little Tay, Jake Paul, and Logan Paul. But ever since the pandemic, I think there's been a new wave of people trying to come onto the internet and trying to become famous by doing said controversial shit. And I think now, ever since Kick started up as a platform, I think it's a lot more easier to become famous by just doing controversial shit or just posting rage bait. And I think it brings up a question, a conversation as to how far are people willing to go just for clicks and views. And then it brings up another question as to what's the purpose of all this? Why are they trying to get this amount of attention? At the end of the day, I think the answer to the second question is just for money overall. A lot of people kind of equate fame, popularity with money, and I don't blame them. We see people like Jack Doherty and Neon who are pretty much just rich now by just being straight assholes to people on the internet, and we see them being rewarded for such activities or actions of degeneracy. Whereas pretty much before Kick was a platform, we pretty much see these people come and go. They do something controversial, people yell at them on the internet, they get bullied off, and or they try to stay and make content, they don't really end up succeeding. And this is where I think Jumanne becomes a very interesting topic, because he's very aware of the actions he's done. He's actually apologetic, and it seems like he's genuinely trying to move forward and move on and become a better person than who he was 2 years ago. From what I can tell, it seems like he recognizes what he did was a bad thing, and it just seems like he's just trying to find his path in this whole content creation world and try to develop his own unique form of content that he likes to upload and create. And I think it's because of the sentiment of his, he's actually able to retain a good amount of viewership and also engagement on his channel from recurring viewers. However, this isn't to say that Jumanne is a perfect person. He understands that what he's done in the past is pretty bad. He also understands that he shouldn't have crashed out like that ever again. So then now let's talk about his whole gambling side of his content creation. So he uploads pretty much just vlogs, and about 1/3 of all together of the vlogs is him gambling. And he seems to recognize himself that he has some sort of addiction, that he has a problem when it comes to gambling. But I want to talk about this specifically about Jumanne, because Jumanne is not in the best financial situation of yet. He seems to be jumping from job to job. From what I can tell, is not in the best situation that he can be, because a lot of the time he's at a casino. And I think this is a pretty interesting situation for Jumanne in terms of like content creation, and also in terms of that topic I brought up earlier as to what are people willing to do to get engagement, views, clicks, as where people are willing to be assholes to other people or to just regular people in order to get views. Jumanne seems to be willing to pretty much record himself in these kind of not the greatest situations and upload it to the world to see. Now, he's not the first person to do this kind of stuff where they pretty much record themselves in dire situations or just kind of in misery and then upload it for the internet. But what I think is unique about Jumanne's situation is that typically in a normal situation where people do that kind of stuff, there's always a lot of comments or engagement where it's pretty much essentially making fun of the person. And this is what a lot of people strive for when they are pretty much posting videos of them being assholes to other people. We see this with Jack Doherty, Neon, Jami Salami. They pretty much get a lot of hate views, hate watchers, but they don't really care because they're not looking for genuine engagement in their content. What they're looking for is pretty much just clicks and views, because hate watchers will give you those click and views. When it comes to people recording their misery and uploading it for the internet to see, people will pretty much just tell them a lot of shit and just say get a job or do all this and that. We see this with Boogie2988, and then we also see this with this other TikTok streamer who's pretty much just homeless and records himself living out in the woods. What I think is interesting about Jumanne is that his engagement seems to be overall positive. They seem to be rooting for Jumanne, that one day he's going to make it. He's going to hit it big in the casino, which I don't think it's a good thing to pretty much enable this kind of behavior when it comes to gambling addiction. But like I said, that's a whole nother topic itself. But like I said before, I think it's interesting to see that he's actually getting a lot of positive engagement for the stuff he's uploading. And I think the reason why this is because compared to other people who record their misery or record terrible actions that they do, Jumanne doesn't seem to have any kind of ill intention behind what he does. He seems to be genuine, a genuine guy who's trying to do better than what he was doing 2 years ago. I think the reason why he seems genuine is because he seems to be a very self-aware person. We saw this 2 years ago when he was in hot water for doing that crazy ass shit, where he seemed to be actually self-aware of what he was doing and why he was doing it. And we see this kind of self-awareness still today, where he's understanding that he himself has an addiction and that he himself is not somebody you should look up to. He gets quite a bit of donations from people who send him money to his PayPal. And I remember this one specific donation where they said that I look up to you, man. And then Jumanne pretty much just states, I'm not somebody you should be looking up to. And this whole characteristic of his, I think actually is what made me wanted to make this video about him in the first place, because I think it's rather interesting to see a content creator on the platform right now who had a controversial history, tried to make up for it, but actually seems to be pretty genuine about what they did in the past and is just trying to do better. But he still has his own flaws, and such flaws is, like I said, it's pretty much just his gambling addiction. He's not a perfect person, but I do think he's an interesting person, and he does seem to be trying. And I think because Jumanne is an interesting person when it comes to the topic of modern content creators and what people are willing to do to become content creators or to get famous, I would like to formally invite Jumanne to like an interview, essentially, just to get into his mind, just to see what he thinks about old modern content creation and where he seems to be going or what he wants to do with his channel or what he thinks about just general stuff. So this is the kind of a formal invitation to Jumanne. If you're watching this, if you ever see this, I will be DMing you just to see if you want to do the interview. If you don't, I understand completely. I can't really pay you, unfortunately. And also, you are pretty much a bigger content creator than I am, so it makes sense that you don't want to do an interview with me. But still, regardless, I'm still going to formally invite you for an interview. If you say yes, that'd be great. If no, then I completely understand. No hard feelings. But that's pretty much it about everything that I want to talk about this certain topic. There is a lot more, but I wanted to see if I can get a formal interview with Jumanne first and then ask him these certain questions, and then I would upload it onto this channel. But regardless, that's pretty much about it. I'll see y'all next time.